Hello, my family. So, we are in the kitchen right now. You want to see something that is the most amazing feeling ever. It is a feeling of freedom, it's a feeling of goodness, it's a feeling of, oh, just something special, I guess, coming from your own farm. This, I love it. I've got farm fresh eggs and a whole basket full of salad. And I actually have so much more out in that bed. But when I bring this inside, when I gather my eggs, there's just a sense of freedom about all this I cannot describe, but it's amazing. So, we're going to use some of these eggs, and I am going to attempt to have a salad tonight, one way or another. So, the topic for tonight's supper is homemade chicken nuggets. Now, you would not believe that you can actually do this with a food processor, and it will actually get the same texture as if you were to buy it pre-frozen, processed at the grocery store. The only difference between mine and what you have at the store is one is healthier than the other. One has less preservatives than the other, but the flavor is uncomparable. It is really good. So let's get to it. Okay, y'all. So this is going to be basically made for 2 people. Now, I am going to use 2 chicken breasts that are cut up. We're going to add that to our food processor. Now, basically, I'm going to give you the recipe, but it'll be made basically for 2 people. And the reason for that is just a guideline. You can add as much as you need for your family and the flavoring of the seasonings that we're going to add next. So, with the seasonings, I have a half a teaspoon each of garlic powder, onion powder, and seasoned salt. And I got about a quarter teaspoon of black pepper. I'm just going to add all of this to here. Now, I'm also going to take, the recipe originally had cornstarch. My diabetic husband cannot do cornstarch, so I am using 2 tablespoons of freshly milled flour. You can use cornstarch if you want to. So, I am now just going to take this, and yep, we're just going to puree this up into a mush, y'all. So, I'm going to start this. And we're going to set this on high, and we're just going to puree it up. Once we get to that point, I will be back and show you what it looks like. Okay, now, against better judgment, you wouldn't think you would do that, but it helps smooth out the meat. So now we're going to add some water to this, just enough to, we're not adding a whole lot at this point. I'm just going to add enough to add moisture to it, and that's it. Alright, we're almost there. We'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so we got the texture that we're looking for, and this is it. Just like minced stuff you get at the grocery store, only it's going to be breaded. So, I have what I need. We're going to add this to the bowl, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how to do this next step and what we do after that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this started. So we're going to take, and I'm going to get a little bit of water. It just keeps it from sticking so badly because this is a sticky mess. So I'm just going to take the tips and actually just going to take just a little bit, about golf ball size, like so. Now, you know what? I'm just going to wet my gloves. There we go. That works better. And I'm going to make it into, well, just like you would if you bought it at the store. You can make them a little less than that if you want to. And I'm just going to take it like this. Now I'm going to dredge this in flour. And I'm going to set it on top of this pan. Because what we're going to do after this is done is freeze these. So at least for about 15 minutes to a half hour. You can do it longer if you wanted to as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and make these patties up, or these little bites. And then I'm going to dredge them again. Lightly coat them. You can save this until after they were done frozen too. They're not going to get completely frozen anyways. That's what the step that's going to happen before it goes into the deep fryer, or when you go to fry them up, or you can use an air fryer at that point, or you can even use the oven. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these, and when I get done, we'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so now all of our chicken nuggets are mixed, divided out, breaded. Now we're going to stick this in the freezer for about 15 minutes to a half hour. We're not looking to freeze them. We're just going to chill them. So we'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so I'm going to ask you a question. It's going to require you to put down in the comments below if this would be a yes or a no. A lot of times we know that we can get inexpensive things like pot holders. Yes, we can go to Walmart, we can go to the Dollar Tree, but we find in the end they don't really hold up to much of anything. A lot of times we're going to have to double up just to be able to keep from getting burnt. 6 years ago, I came up with something that has worked immensely. So good that I can take a cast iron skillet handle and all I need is one pot holder. However, I had to make it myself. So, here's my question. These are 100% cotton. They are double thick. They are so good, I could take anything straight from the oven, from the grill, cast iron skillet, grab the handle and move it, and I never feel anything out of these. The only way I do is if they're wet. Now if they get wet, you're done. So, these are also washable. Like I said, I've had them for 6 years. Now, these are crocheted. So, if you want any other things like you're learning in this homestead, I end up doing some practical things that I save money but last me such a long time and very, very effective. But I make it myself. If you want me to teach you how to do this, let me know in the comments below, and I will gladly teach you how to be able to have something very practical in your kitchen, always for a long time. All you're going to need is cotton thread you can buy at Walmart and a hook, and then I can try to show you the rest. So I'm going to go a step further on this homestead to be able to give you what I do and see if maybe it can help you in the long run too. Like I said, this is a functioning homestead, y'all, and with that functioning homestead comes a lot of money saving items as well. And sometimes I invest in one item and I can get 4 out of it, and it has lasted me, like I said, 6 years. So how much am I actually, I spent like maybe $8 for the spool of yarn, and I've had maybe 2 sets of pot holders for 6 years. To me, that's, yeah. So, let me know. Also, if you don't mind, y'all, if you enjoy these videos, if you like what's to come on these videos, please share them. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's see if we can't get up to 100,000. Maybe it's a dream, but it's a dream I like to see. Let's see if we can get 100,000 subscribers. So, but that's going to require the like button, the subscription button, and make sure you hit that bell, because if you don't hit the bell, you won't get notified. And then share it. Share it with your family and friends. See where we can go. So that's part of it. Now we are almost ready to start doing our chicken nuggets. Also, these nuggets aren't better. It's not just about going to the grocery store, getting them frozen. But if you want a better, healthier, like instead of going to fast food like McDonald's or anywhere like this, you can make it at home. So that's my thing. You can save more money. Honestly, I had 5 chicken breasts for $12. Now you're going to go out to eat and maybe get 6 chicken nuggets for 12 bucks. So, and it's processed. This isn't. So let me see if we can give you something even better. So we're going to be right back. Okay, y'all, so it's almost time for our chicken nuggets to come out. So I am going to do a little extra to mine. Using the same pretty much seasonings that I used except for the onion powder. I'm going to add a half a teaspoon each of, again, my seasoning salt. This was homemade mix, by the way, y'all. And I do have videos of how to make homemade seasonings, but if I have to, I will go ahead and start some new ones. I am going to be using some smoked paprika. A half a teaspoon is that. And then, again, garlic powder. This is also my homemade. And I will definitely be making some more of this. I have not, since I started making my own garlic powder and onion powder, I have not been buying these seasonings for the past 2 years. I do not like the flavor of the store-bought versus homemade. So, I am actually going to be deep frying ours. You're welcome to use anything you want to do. You can use an air fryer, you can use your oven. Just make sure that you oil it. This seasonings is also mixed in with 1 1/4 cups of flour. I am using fresh milled. You're welcome to use any type of flour you want to use. Here we go. Now I'm just going to mix this all together. I'm also going to add a little bit of pepper to this. I might go ahead and add 1 extra half teaspoon, making it 1 full teaspoon of seasoning salt. This way I'm not adding any other salt to it, so I'll have plenty enough then. Now we're going to turn this into like a tempura batter. Now from here I'm going to add 1 egg. We're using farm fresh eggs. And then I am going to start adding some ice cold water to this. I'm only doing it until I have the consistency of batter. Now I have to watch using fresh milled. Once I get this to the consistency I need, I will show you how this is done. Okay, so when it comes to the ice cold water, here's what I'm going to tell you. Depending on the flour you use, your climate, and everything else, you're going to add just a little bit at a time. I am not going to give you a recipe as far as or how much water, because everybody's going to be different. This is what you're looking for, though. You're looking for a nice batter that's somewhat thick, but yet thin. You just want to coat. So that's what you're looking for. And I think I used about a half a cup of ice water for this. Like I said, everybody's going to be different. And if it starts to thicken up again, well, I have some ice water on the side that I can do this. So I also need to add at this point, I need to add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. So let's see, I need 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And then 1 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Now I'm going to mix all that in as well. I did actually forget these, so I'm adding it now. So just so y'all know, because normally this should have already been in my mix already. So I did forget it, so we're adding it at this moment. I will put the recipe in the description box below for y'all though. And I'm just going to leave it, like I said, water is going to be your judgment until you get the consistency that you need for your nuggets. Now, we got our oil preheated. Let's get to frying some nuggets, y'all. Okay, so our chicken nuggets right now are nice and firm that we can use these. So we're just going to take this, add it inside of our batter right here. Shake out the excess and drop it in our oil. I do not like this for this one. So I'm going to use something different. We're going to use a fork. That's better. I'm just going to roll this in here. Take it out. Make sure I get the excess off. Pop it in our oil. And we're going to cook these until they're golden brown and done on the inside. You can make these smaller, and I'm probably going to cut some of these down to make them smaller because these are awful big nuggets. So once I get this done, we'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so I used to be able to taste test with you and everything. I'm going to attempt to do that now, even though things are different, because I just tried this, and you know my condition right now. Tomorrow will be 3 weeks since I had dental work done, and I'm slowly learning how to use these things, but they're not the best in the world. As I told you, I'm waiting. I got another 2 weeks to go just to be able to get my permanents even fitted for them. So what I wanted to show you, can I eat these? I'm happy. I'm excited, y'all, because literally, now I do break them up in pieces. It's got a really nice, it's got a crunch, but it's not over crunch. It's got a nice batter to it. I'm not going to show you my mouthful just to prove that I'm eating it. But this is good. And while I'm frying up the rest of them, I'm actually going to finish that nugget off because that is really good. Now, I will tell you, in between frying them, please put your pan back in your freezer. It makes it easier for you to keep up with it. Otherwise, they will soften too quickly and you won't be able to handle them very well. So in between frying, definitely make sure that you're putting them in the back in the freezer. You want these nuggets completely cooked on the inside at 165 degrees, which is the same amount of time as you would any chicken. So I wanted to bring that point up to you too. Alright, y'all, and supper is done. How much did we get? Now, mind you, this was only 2 chicken breasts. You've seen that. And I cut them up and then I pureed them. And I got this much nuggets out of them. Way too much for 2 people. So here's my options. Number 1, hubby is definitely going to have lunch tomorrow. We're still got plenty enough. So now at this point, I have pre-made chicken nuggets. So now I can take with my leftovers, I can freeze them. And then when I want to have chicken nuggets, I pull them out of the freezer, defrost them, pop them in the oven, and I have an instant meal. That's one thing I love about making my own. Number 2, what makes these healthier than anything that I could buy at the grocery store or get at the fast food restaurant? Number 1, we are using fresh milled flour. That kicks it right there. We've got more nutrients, vitamins, fiber, minerals, everything within these nuggets. Number 2, we're using real meat. And it's not like some soy product or anything else. It is not a processed meat. It's just real meat. And then seasonings. So I know what I'm eating. And I do know that what we're having is healthier. Now, could it have been even healthier if it was air fried and put in the oven? Absolutely yes. But just sometimes you just got to get a good fried food. And chicken nuggets are one of those. So I'm not always good, but for the most part I am. I will absolutely enjoy this for supper tonight. Again, I will put the recipe in the description box below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you look forward to many more that we got coming along. Until next time, much love from Parton's Heritage Homestead. I'm starving, y'all. It's time to eat.